Goodbye, my almost lover. Goodbye, my blah blah friends.
Hello, welcome to the Peter Viva show. I have Josi Maria on here. She's an Instagram influencer and she is from Germany. I was thankful enough to, get an interview with her because of a mutual friend, Matt, who's the CEO of Daycation. We can go into that later on what that is. But, thanks for being on here. And I'd love to ask you a few questions, kind of ask, like, what's keeping you up at night right now? Like, in the influencer kind of world, like, what are you thinking about right now?
First of all, thank you for being here at your podcast, and I really appreciate that you invited me. What keeps me in the influencer stuff? I don't know. So it's something I really loved to do. I like to stay in public and to spread positive vibes, and that's something I can do on Instagram. And so yeah, it's not only being an influencer but also being a person. So I don't really like to use the word influencer because influencer is something the word influence is
Kind of
in
cringe.
it.
It's kind of cringe.
Yeah. And
Is
I
that
don't,
like something popular within like the influencer community, so to speak? Like, do they normally like not like? Do you know any other influencers? Is what I'm trying to.
sure.
So do they also feel the same way about calling you each other influencers? Like, is
Yeah,
that
we don't do that
you don't do
because
it?
it's something like you influence others, and I don't want to influence them. I want to inspire. So I would rather say want to inspire the word instead of influence because that's a negative word.
Inspire, yeah. And do you what are your like future outlooks on like being an influencer? Like, do you think that there's like an influencer bubble, so to speak, like that could eventually implode, and then you have to figure out what you're gonna do after? Like, do you think about that, or is it something that isn't necessarily
Yeah,
on your
sure.
radar?
I always think about it, but I don't want to think too much about it because it makes you feel sad when you think about the sad circumstances that could happen.
But they're realistic. You have
Yeah,
to balance
yeah,
out the
they
risks,
are.
right?
But that's why I did in Germany a traineeship as a bank officer. So I'm a general bank officer, and I can go to the bank anytime,
Whenever. So you have like
whenever.
a fail safe.
Yeah. So I studied in Germany, and so that's something I can always do.
So what did you major in again?
Bank officer. So in Germany, it's different.
The school system is all
Yeah,
like
it's
totally
totally
different from
different.
the U.S., right?
So I did the Abitur. So I went to school for 13 years, and right after that, I did some work at a fitness studio at the gym. So and I decided to work for a bank, and there I stayed for 3 years.
3 years working at a bank.
Yeah, so I
How was
worked
that? Was
there.
that like 9 to 5?
Yeah,
You
it
still
is.
have the 9 to 5
It is.
hours
It
over
is.
there?
It is. But it was 9 to 6.
9 to 6 for you?
Nine
Yeah,
to six
you work.
instead of Wednesdays and Fridays. They
Yeah.
were yeah.
How was that? I mean, in comparison to like being an let's call it inspire, out of courtesy. How's the difference? Like, would you pick one over the other?
It's so different because 9 to 5 is different to an influencer because I'm there 24/7 and
Yeah.
I show me 24/7 and I show me without makeup, I show me with makeup, I show me after the gym, before the gym, when I go shopping. I just show my whole life. And when I'm at a bank, I'm not the personality. I'm just a person who works
For that brand.
for that brand.
Yeah.
And I am the brand. So I'm not myself.
Yeah, there's definitely a big shift that I'm starting to see amongst our generation, where people want to express themselves as much as they can, as authentically as they can, and not necessarily be having to, kind of reject their own self-expression to like benefit a larger company. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, let's say you come up with something innovative, even for their marketing team, how much of that dollar that you create for that individual, for that company, do you really get back? Not much, because you're being paid a salary or whatever it is, or per hour basis.
Yeah.
And I mean, with your own business, ultimately, because you are a business, you're inspirer. You have to eat. We all need the money to survive here. Um, you're building your own brand. It's a big motivational thing, or a big commitment also, and it's kind of going down a lonely road. And I actually want to kind of segue into like how like when you started, when you decided, I'm done with banking. Like, this is just the worst. I'm done with fitness stuff. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm just going full in to inspiring others and traveling and doing my own content online. Like, what was that moment for you? Like, when did you just kind of like take that leap?
I never had that.
You never had that?
I never had that because
Okay.
I started with Instagram as Instagram started. So about 6 years, I think,
Okay.
ago. And I just started with sharing my food and sharing my journey because I was anorexic, or better, I am at the moment again. So
you
another story.
you struggle with anorexia.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
Instagram.
you're very thin.
Yeah, I'm
Very thin.
just trying to get healthy again. So it's something in my brain that I have to teach every day. So it's a very hard way to go out of it.
That's a mental
Yeah,
disability, right?
yeah.
It's a mental condition.
It's just everything is mental, and not eating is something that follows by your thoughts.
Right.
So it's not only not eating, it's, yeah.
What is a
Lots of
textbook
things.
definition of anorexia? Do you guys know? We should look that
A
up.
definition?
Actually, yeah. Textbook like definition, but what
Matt
is it?
knows it.
No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
1 second, I'll bring it up.
Well, anyway, just like so that must be tough. Like that. I mean, do you just like look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, I'm just like way too fat?
No.
You don't. That's not anorexia.
Especially not. I know that
You
I'm
know you're
too
thin.
skinny.
Yeah.
And when I take a look at my pictures 1.5 years ago, I just think, oh my goodness, this fucking girl is amazing. And I really, really loved my body, and it was fit, strong. And I really have to say, if I see her on the street, oh my goodness. That's something I just can't say that, because when I see a girl I like, I just go on the street and say, hey girl, you look amazing. Just yesterday, I think, Matt and I, we
But are you just talking about like model looking type girls or big girls? Like what type of girls are you talking about? Just girls in general?
Just girls, and
You want to share that love of
Yeah,
acceptance.
yeah.
That like society kind of teaches. You have to look a certain way. You're just like, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's something important, and I want to spread that. So that's something that might not be the picture or the image of Instagram, because Instagram is always like, you have to be perfect, you have to look like that, you have to have money, you have to be successful,
Right.
you have to be just like that. And I'm very open to it because I'm talking about everything. I talk about my hair extensions. I talk about my breast surgery. I talk about
breast surgery.
Breast surgery.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
You had a surgery.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
And I talk about that because
That's nice, yeah.
I want to tell them that people are not born the way they look like.
Yeah, they have to work for it.
Yeah, yeah, they have to work for it, or they just have to pay for it.
Right.
So,
yeah. No, I've always respected people who like, really take that commitment to just like look good, get that 6-pack. I don't know, like maybe get surgery and implant fat in their ass. That's how you do it, right? I don't know. You get fat from like different places and you put it in their ass.
That's for example the
but
Brazilian butt lift.
Brazilian butt lift. Yeah.
That's something you have fat in your stomach and then you get it in your booty. So there are a lot of ways to do that, but I mean, especially girls who are young think that the models are the way they are and they are made like that.
Yeah.
But everyone can be like that. It's just something that is made by others.
Also Instagram. I mean, Instagram definitely, that's a place. I mean, just really quick, did you get the definition of anorexia? What is it, anorexia?
Yeah.
Anorexia is lack or loss of appetite for food as a medical condition.
Lack or loss? Oh, almost tripped over the rug. So you lose your appetite for food. So it's almost like you're drinking too much coffee. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
It's like you're drinking too much coffee and you don't want food.
So I love coffee, but it's not about appetite.
But it's different. So it's different than, like, for example, if I drink a ton of caffeine, I'm not going to be hungry for a while. You know what I mean? But this is like just in your head. Like you just don't want food.
It's a thing in my head that I don't feel hunger anymore.
Yeah.
So even if I know my body needs it and I feel exhausted and I feel like, pooey, I can't move anymore.
What do you do? What do you do in those situations?
This is a feeling you want to achieve, because then you feel like you did something and you feel exhausted. It's just like you deserve to have something. And if you don't feel exhausted, you think like you don't deserve to eat, for example. So I'm struggling with the feeling of deserving food. I sometimes feel like I don't deserve it.
You feel like you don't deserve food.
Yeah, and that's weird, because you can say if you're anorexic, you have got an angel and a devil. And the angel is telling you have to eat, you're lucky when you eat, you are productive when you eat, you are happy when you eat. And the devil says to you, you're not allowed to eat, you don't deserve it. Which kind of work do you do? Because sometimes the job as an influencer, I don't see as work, because it's something I love.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
And if you love your work, it's always said you work.
You'll never work a day in your life, right? That's the quote that you're going for?
Yeah, that's something, yeah.
If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, that's something. But then you get money for loving.
Yeah.
And that's weird, because the most of the people say they work and they don't like their work, but they get money for it, and that's why they work, because they get the money. And I do my love, so I love and I get money for my love. And that's so weird, because it's just plus and plus and not plus and minus. You know what I mean?
And it's odd that you struggle with, anorexia. Basically, you feeling like you don't deserve food, when in fact you do so many things to provide happiness, joy, and you're doing what you love. Like, if I was somebody to determine whether you deserve food or not, I'd be like, give her a sandwich. Like, of course she deserves food.
Most of the people do it that way.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But it looks like you have these great characteristics about yourself, and that's what built your audience up to 101,000 followers. I saw that today, what your followers are at, and it's only going to grow more and more. So what do you think of, like, content creation? Like, what's the process for that for you? Like, I know you do what you love, but is there any thought that goes behind it, or is it really just like, I'm gonna snap a picture? Because I see so many people, like, I've recently just started to understand Instagram, right? Like, I understand that Instagram is just purely beauty. It's not really big on authenticity. Maybe in video format, I'm seeing a lot of people being more authentic in video format. But as far as pictures go and filters, everything face value should be great. Whatever you say, it depends. It depends. But that's what I'm seeing. So for example, what kind of preparation do you do for posts? Do you do any of it, or is it just kind of ingrained in you already that you know what's beautiful and what isn't?
I prepare everything, so a lot, but there's a lot of spontaneous stuff as well.
What kind of preparation, though? You have like a schedule, and then you're like, okay, Monday I'm posting this picture on the beach because damn, I look good here. Or is it like, I know my audience would like this?
A lot of people do it that way, that they just want to, see that their feed is beautiful, and that's why they just share this picture and this picture and this picture, so that the feed looks nice. But
the feed?
Yeah, the feed has to look good.
And so are you talking about like a beach pic where you just like at the beach, like
not the feed, the Instagram feed.
Oh, the feed,
So
like your actual page on your profile page.
yeah.
My God.
That's what I meant.
You're talking about your feet. Like a specific
Don't
beach
cut it
bag.
out. It's
No,
good.
We won't cut any of this out unless you ask for
Okay,
it.
great.
But yeah, so you have a strategy. So it is a job in a way. But you're a very scheduled person. You're a very organized person, I mean to say, right? It seems that way.
I try to be that.
Yeah.
And if I think I don't have a control anymore,
you lose it.
I don't like that. So
Right.
that's something anorexic people often have, that they have to control everything.
That's another side effect of having this condition.
Yeah, so it's something
It's
that
like
is
OCD,
just
like obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
With anorexia.
This
or
is
it just kind of comes in.
That's something. If you have got anorexia, it can be that you have OCD as well. So it's mostly when OCD is there, then you have got more struggles with your anorexia. So it's something that is.
That's one heck of a time bomb.
Yeah.
You must be in your head.
It's just.
So what do you do to relax and unwind and get away?
That's something you have to deserve, relax, and.
So anorexia doesn't take that away. They know that you need to like sleep and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the food.
It's not only just the food.
Yeah, because you have the OCD aspect.
Yeah. So it's sometimes that, it's hard to explain to people who don't have that.
Yeah,
because,
and I don't mean to dig into it so much. I know, I'm just very curious. I've never really like known anyone or dealt with that or anything.
Relaxing is something. My parents always say, Josie, you have to learn to relax and to calm down. And do you know CBD? I think.
Yeah, CBD, the extraction from the THC.
That
relaxes you.
And Matt, for example, says, Josie, you have to smoke weed, and I'm always like, no, I won't. I will never ever smoke weed.
I feel like you'd be like the paranoid type. It would just like be like.
I think so too, because your mind will just get more into the thing you are
obsessing about. Yeah.
So I don't like that. I've never done that, so I won't never do that. And
but what does relax you? Like, do you do meditation? Do you get massages? Do you go, like, does the beach relax you? Like, what are some things that?
Working out. So
working out. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like.
So I do sports.
It's a chore for most people.
Yeah, that's something, for example, that makes you feel stressed. But for me, I feel as if I did something. Mm-hmm. So I feel like my body did something and it was good for me. And so I feel more relaxed after that.
I definitely understand that. Yeah. When I go to the gym, it's really a decompression, stress reliever.
And it's just time for you. And especially because the gyms are closed right now.
Oh, well, it's not funny anymore.
It's not funny.
Need to reopen.
It's not funny because I need my headphones. I don't listen to anyone, anything, I'm just in the music, at the gym, in my focus and in my word. And this hour a day is just preparing you for the whole day and the whole time. And it's just the me time I need. And now I do home workouts, but it's different because you are at home and you do workouts and you see YouTube videos to that. And it's amazing. There are a lot of cool videos and cool training plans and stuff like that. But I really miss the gym and this feeling at the gym.
Yeah, the feeling of the gym. Yeah. It's like, Matt and I were just talking about this yesterday that, in society, you have 3 main places that you spend most of your attention on. And the first one is family, the second one is work. And then the third one, what used to be in culture, is church. And church used to be that place where you get along with your community. You share things that, you've maybe done wrong in your life, or you just are very vulnerable around people. But as like time has gone on, technology has flourished, and people are more aware of like what is and what isn't. Companies, for example, like Starbucks, have tried to become that third place for people. They didn't succeed because, when you go to Starbucks, you sit with your headphones on and you're just like doing your work. But for me, the third place became the gym, like that was a place where I met up with people. I would be isolated and work out and be completely, just decompressed. But there are moments where you interact with people that you see consistently, and those connections are very natural and vulnerable. But would you say that the gym kind of became your metaphorical third place?
Yeah, the gym is a kind of church.
It's a kind of church, yeah. The gym is a church.
So
I feel that way too.
it's a bit like that. So I have to feel home when I'm there. And the gym is a place where I feel safe, I feel home, and so it's something. When I go to the gym before I have a coffee, some caffeine,
Some caffeine.
Yeah, I need that. So I'm a coffee lover, and then I'm just.
What do you drink, like black coffee or?
I love black coffee venti from
No sugar.
Starbucks.
No sugar.
No sugar. I always use Flav drops. Have you heard about it?
No, it's
Flav drops.
Huh?
These are drops that are sweetener, and you can get them in vanilla or chocolate.
Oh, they're like extracts.
Yeah, that's it. And I've got powder that is similar to the drops. And for example, chocolate powder, and you can just put a tiny bit in it, and then it tastes like that.
Yeah.
So it's your self-made Starbucks coffee.
And you're saving a few dollars too, because you don't have to ask them to put in. It's good to. I mean, I love saving money. I'm big on saving money, but.
Yeah. You can get a refill at Starbucks for 50 cents. Did you know that?
My gosh. I could come here and just get as much coffee as I want for free.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. But it's not Starbucks coffee, so
I don't care about Starbucks coffee. I think it's way too expensive. I don't know.
Don't say that to me. Don't say that to me.
But I'm big on Apple products, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I'm starting to get a little bit more annoyed by Apple products because I'm doing more like digital media things. It's kind of restrictive, but whatever. These are just brands that we connect with, and their marketing is done really well. Just like yours. Yours has grown. So like you said you've been doing Instagram for 6 years. Over a 6-year period, you've gained 101,000 followers. Like, was there something that kind of like made you get to that jump, or was it kind of like a gradual growth in followership?
It just grew step by step. So there was not a point where it just grew. So it was always...
like year 3, you were at like 50,000 already?
I don't know.
Or like, was it just kind of like, did you do something, or was it? So you say it was gradual, it was organic, it just happened.
Yeah. So brands always say to me, Josie, we like that your followers grew step by step and not from one day to another, what a lot of influencers have.
Were you talking about like paid followers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like
but
that.
you can tell if they're paid followers.
Yeah.
You just go on like Social Blade.
Yeah.
And you see if like they gain like 5,000 followers in a day. I mean, sometimes there are those anomalies. Like for example, if like Mark Cuban posts you or something, like you'll get a lot of followers, but
yeah. So
but there's not, those opportunities don't come all the time.
Yeah.
Or if Josie posts you.
Huh?
Or if Josie posts
exactly. When you do a shout out or stuff like that.
Yeah, shout out, or like I don't know. There's so many things I've seen on Instagram. A lot of crap. Like people just always message me saying, "Oh, there's a giveaway," like, or gain followers, whatever. I don't believe it, but so that's why I like your page, because it just seems like that it is organic. It's true followers, and your audience is very engaged. That's what it appears to be, on my perspective. How has that changed? Like when you had your first 100 followers to now to your 100,000 followers, how's the engagement and the type of people who have been coming out and commenting on your post and sending you messages? How's that interaction, that relationship with them?
So first, when you start and you get messages, it's more like when it's a negative message, you take it serious.
So you get negative. I mean, at 100,000, the probability is likely.
Yeah. There are always people.
You get actual negative. You're so lovely. I would never expect anybody to just kind of give you hate.
Sure, especially because of anorexia. Oh, you're so skinny. Delete your Instagram account. This is nothing that should be on social media because this makes others feel bad because you are so skinny, and this seems as if when you are skinny you are happy.
That is so messed up.
this
Like you're already
is
struggling with something,
yeah.
and then they're just trying to throw like more shame on you. Like that
That's
is so
just,
messed up.
it is. And especially because they don't follow me, my journey, because they don't know that I'm sharing my feelings and my steps to be healthy.
Right.
They think that I'm anorexic and I'm skinny and I like to be that.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
That's not the point.
I want to motivate others that they are brave and go the step and to fight against anorexia. That is something you should do because you want to be happy, and I want to spread these vibes. But I want to show them that it's not easy to come over anorexia, and that you have these devil and evil in your head, and devil and angel in your head, and that life is not always good, and that especially people who are successful on Instagram have to suffer with anything as well.
Yeah.
So just because you are successful on Instagram doesn't mean that you are happy.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
a lot
that's
of people
definitely
pretend to be.
right. Exactly. I mean, and I don't mean to, kind of be rude in saying this, but it appears like on your page, at least from the post, that you're extremely happy person. You travel
Yeah.
all the time, and you have and you have the ability to do this, all the time. Is that really the case? Like, what's those Instagram versus reality type posts?
Yeah.
I love those. They're so funny.
Yeah.
But what would you say is the reality behind your Instagram page? Because the page looks, I mean, it's immaculate, it's perfect for Instagram, and it's what people who go on Instagram want to see.
That's true. And I really sometimes think maybe, Josie, you should do postings that are more reality as well. Because people who are attracted to it, but they want to see the Instagram world too.
Because that's what it's built on. It just seems like it's not really that possible to do it because Instagram isn't the place. It might be YouTube, might be a better place.
Yeah.
Or TikTok is interesting.
I do that too now.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
those are funny.
just
You're dancing.
few ones.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah. As I was dancing, by the way, the video was as I recovered from anorexia, and this was my body as I felt confident and just perfect. So
wow,
that
was beautiful.
So this is a video I love that was on a festival, I think, and as I was traveling as well. Yeah.
So let's get to the real questions now. Like we've been talking very real, and I appreciate your vulnerability. But like, how much do you make? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are your brand deals like? You don't have to mention any brands, but
you mean
like for a post or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what do you? I mean, you don't have to share any real numbers or anything, but like to sustain travel, hotels, promotions. Like, how does that work? Like in your world.
So it's something brands are.
And you can say figures.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be specific numbers.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I'm sure everybody's curious, like
how much money does she get?
Like how can somebody who's all the time like making their life to be beautiful out of a business nonetheless, because we know that you're a human being and everybody has challenges. Younger people struggle to understand that because they don't understand the world yet. But as you get older, you know that life's tough and it must be tough for everybody else. But the fact that you're sharing this is fantastic. But I'd love to know like what are these brand deals like, and how is the process? Like how was your first brand deal? And at what stage of followers did you suddenly get like some company being like, look, I will pay you X amount of dollars to wear this or to publicize this? Yeah,
so the first collaboration was with a food box.
A food box?
Yeah, it was a food box because I started with
like
recipes.
Like a meal prep business?
Yes, stuff like that. So it was organic food, and they just sent you monthly a parcel with, for example, peanut butter and kidney bean brownies, stuff like that. And this was the first parcel I got for free, and I was so happy and so proud that I got it. And
was that like was that like a small payment? Was it a large payment? Was it something that was able to cover your expenses?
This was just a random parcel. So it was just the parcel and the products, so without payment.
So they just said, please advertise this, and you did it for free.
I think I had about 1,000 or 2,000 followers.
Okay, and then you just did it for free because you just the opportunity of being chosen.
And I was so happy that I got it for free because others pay about $50 for it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. They asked me, and
what was your biggest deal? What was your biggest?
My biggest.
At 101,000 followers, obviously, like.
Yeah, my biggest.
It might not be like 6 figures, but. I
can't really say that because it's mostly similar.
It's small deals right now. At this level of your Instagram career, it is mostly like.
It's so deals. The salary I get is mostly similar to the brands. So there is not a brand that pays 20 the amount of money as the other brand. So that's not the case.
They fluctuate.
Yeah. So, but for example, I was at a fitness brand for 2.5 years.
Oh, so you were like signed contract?
Yeah, so it was a contract.
For 2 years you had to post stuff for their stuff.
Ended yet. So it's now ended. And
it just ended?
Yeah.
Wow.
This month.
So they paid you a salary for 2 years. And then and what, you'd have to post like every day? Like, what was it like? Like you post a story and then you post like an actual post? Yeah, so in the contract is written how much I have to post. Yeah.
And, but not about the content. Sometimes they have, for example, Black Friday, and then they say, oh, you have to promote our new fashion and just choose your favorite outfit. So it's just, it's not that they say you have to say it that way and that way and that way. So there are brands who do it that way, but I don't like that because I want to
have creative freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't take offers from brands who give me a briefing
and restrictions.
I really have just to say.
Right.
So just like reading. Yeah.
And so that's interesting. Did you guys know that influencers get salaries? Like I didn't know that. Like with brand deal. No, I didn't know.
So it depends.
I thought it was just like oh, we want you to do a video, we'll pay you like, I know for the bigger guys like 30,000 upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then for the smaller players still it's a lot of money, $10,000 for a post or multiple posts or a video, but a salary base, that's interesting. I never knew that was something that you did, and so it's obviously enough to cover your expenses and cover your travel and for you to have creative freedom.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Yeah. That's something that I'm sure, first of all, you're a part of a very small percentage of people who are able to do this, and I'm sure you understand that. And I know there's so many other people, including myself, who would love to kind of enter into that arena. And because it's like you're saying, like it's a lifestyle that it's truly your own, and you get to just share it with the world. But did you have to change anything? Like, did you have to give up certain things from your life that you couldn't post about, and in order to like post things that other people would want to see? Like, did you kind of have to adjust your life in a way? Where you're like, oh, I really want to go to this water park, but people don't like water parks. I can't go to water parks. Let's just go to Malibu and do a photo shoot there, and people love Malibu or something.
Not this way, because I want to be the person I am, and if I pretend to be another person, I could not do that for 6 years.
Right.
So that's why I'm always just the way I am. But I mean, you have to be there 24/7, and you have to share content 24/7. So
24, like, are you actually talking every hour of the day? You're posting a story, or you're posting a picture, like that type of 24/7. Like, I mean, 24/7 is 24/7.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
But how is that like? Like, how many times do you post a day?
It's different.
For stories and posts?
So it's very different. But I mean, you have to keep in mind, okay, what do I share today? What do I post today that might be interesting? And so
it doesn't really matter what you do?
So there is no weekend where you don't share your life. You know what I mean?
There's no weekend where you just share your life.
Yeah. or when you go on holidays or traveling, people always think, oh, you're on vacation,
No, your life is
But-
vacation,
but-
but it's also work.
yeah, so I'm just at another place, but I still do the same stuff.
So like, how do you
So-
choose where to go? Like, how do you choose, like,
America, for example.
yeah,
So the places I travel to. Do you
yeah,
mean
like,
that?
how do you choose that? Do you choose it like based on like where
Based on
your
my
audience is,
no,
or you
No.
just what you want?
what I want.
So I mean, you're just a very interesting person, and you're getting validated by others that you're an
you.
interesting person.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. What a hell of a lifestyle. You know, what would you say to people who are like starting out, and like especially young girls, and even young men, or non-binary? What would you say to them in this regard, like when they're starting off and they want to be an influencer, inspirer of sorts? Which is, it's interesting when you say influencer and inspire, it actually gives off a different tone. Like an inspirer sounds like a motivational coach in a way. But anyway, so what would you give an inspirer? Like, what would you tell them? Like, what are some things that you see up and coming inspirers do consistently that they shouldn't be doing? Like, did you understand
What they should not do?
But they do anyway. Like, what is a common thing that you see amongst like new inspirers that they really shouldn't be doing, and that you learned quickly that you shouldn't be doing it, like based on your experience?
Okay. I would try to tell them that they are not an influencer on Instagram. They should be an influencer or inspire in the world.
In the world,
So
try to inspire the world.
they are not part of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They are the person who is on the internet, but not the internet itself. So they should not be just a role. They should be a person.
Right.
So not an influencer, an Instagram influencer, and life influencer. You know what I mean?
So for example, I mean, I don't know. Let's say I want to inspire the world, and I'm inspired by this very lovely cup of tea.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm just like, forget it. This cup of tea is what it's about, and that's what inspires me, because it's gonna produce more work. Just posting a picture, is that something that future influencers should do, or are you saying like, because it doesn't seem like there's a clear cut. It seems like there's a clear cut way to be an Instagram influencer, and that's really just to make beautiful content, no matter what, and it doesn't necessarily promote content that I think is like authentic and original, unless it's video format. But the video is still beautiful, but the content could be vulnerable. But that's what I'm kind of trying to understand from you. That's something that you could relate to up and coming influencers. Like, how is it possible for them to make beautiful content and then at the same time maintain their piece of inspiration that they can share with the world? Like, for example, what is your inspiration? Like, because it's not like, oh, I want to inspire the world, but like, with what? Like, what is that inspiration? Like, it seems like you want to make other people feel beautiful, right?
I want to do that, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's sometimes contradicting with my posts, because you
Yeah.
told me my feed,
Yeah.
not my feed, my
You
feed
see.
is filled with pictures that are beautiful.
Yeah.
But so I want to show the beautiful side, but when you watch my stories, for example, you can see the other part of my life. So I think that you should not only show the beautiful word, you should too, because there is always a way to have beautiful time and to be beautiful and to look beautiful, but you have to show them that it's not only always beautiful, but also there are parts in your life that are not that beautiful. So you have to do both.
So is it like so it's like Instagram promotes beauty, and I don't mean to be focusing on Instagram because I know you're on TikTok. Are you on YouTube by any chance? I couldn't find you on YouTube.
I did it a few years ago.
Right.
But I'm not really.
You're not really active on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a lot of subscribers?
I really don't know.
So your big thing is Instagram.
Yeah. So
and now TikTok,
I think no one knows that I've got YouTube.
Yeah, right. I was trying to look for it and I couldn't find it. But so Instagram is the big place and TikTok is the next place that you're been stepping into slowly.
Yeah. So TikTok is just something I do sometimes. So I don't spend that much time on it, but it's so funny.
It is really funny, and I'm interested to see the future post that you'll be posting because you have like maybe like 6 videos on there, but your Instagram page is phenomenal. Your stories are on point. I love the highlights that you have. I just wish I could understand a lot of it because I know I don't speak German, but you said the majority of your audience is German. So yeah, Instagram does promote beauty at the end of the day. So it sounds like what your message is that, make beautiful content, but kind of show yourself maybe through your captions or as you're talking through your stories or whatever. Yeah, I'm really interested to know more about the brand deals. We should probably take a break in a little bit, but just before we do, at this rate of 100,000 followers, and this out of curiosity, do you get any death threats?
What did I get?
Do you get any death threats?
What is
your death threats, like people wishing that you were dead?
That they wish I collapse? Do you mean that?
Like death threats. Like, do you get any people saying like, "Oh my God, I wish you died"? Like, because some people get death threats at this level.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Do you get any death threats at this stage of your audience following?
Not that they say they wish I died.
You haven't received any.
Not that way.
That's great. Good for you. Because that would scare the living daylights out of me. I mean, I know. I've seen like I've watched I don't know like H3H3 or Logan Paul or Jake Paul. All these people like they've all gotten death threats, or Tim Ferriss or all these podcasters, Joe Rogan.
It's. I don't know what is going to these people in their mind. They are just crazy.
They're messed up.
Yeah. So
I think it's the fact that like
negative.
I think it's the fact that they hide behind the computer. That they feel like powerful.
Yeah.
And like you don't have to see their face.
And
but
when you see the face, then you think
they probably wouldn't even say anything to you.
Yeah.
Who do you follow? Who are your inspirations? Like who are the people who are your thought leaders?
Daycation app, for example, and you, for example. No.
Oh, shut up. You don't follow me. You just found out about me today.
I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
Yeah, you should definitely see the content or you'll like it.
Sure.
I like your content. I found out about you a while before. But let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. So what do you think of Harry Potter? What's up with that?
Don't Harry Potter, please. I hate Harry Potter. I hate fantasy. I hate stuff like that.
Why?
Because it's not live.
Why do you hate? Okay, because it's not live. But why Harry Potter specifically?
I think I just don't like it, but
like, are you okay with Star Wars?
Oh my goodness, it gets worse.
It gets worse. God damn, I'm a diehard Star Wars lover.
I hate stuff like that.
You guys like Star Wars or Harry Potter?
I love Love Island.
See,
I watch Love Island and Bachelor. That stuff I like.
Oh, you like the reality TV? Did you recently watch that show that Netflix put out? The ones that the people are in a house but they can't have sex with each other or do anything.
Too Hot to Handle.
Too Hot to Handle. Have you seen that?
I don't know that. I have to watch it.
It's terrible. I've heard.
I liked it.
Matt, we have to look it.
Liked it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I leave tomorrow.
The stars of
watch
the
it
show,
tonight.
Their Instagrams blew up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to take part on the show too.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. It would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to take me, and say,
cool.
"Oh yeah, we would like to take."
So what's your relationship with Ty Lopez?
Ty Lopez, yeah. That's something. It started.
The living meme.
Oh, it started 2 years ago. I just found him on Instagram with. So I found him and Grant Cardone, and I was interested in what they are doing, and so I just texted him, Ty Lopez, And
How'd you get his number?
No, it was an Instagram direct message,
Oh,
and he
okay.
replied. And
Wow.
he replied me, but I don't know if it was him, or if it maybe was someone who
Like an
was working.
assistant?
Yeah. So that's
Did you ever meet up with him?
No.
Never met him?
No.
Do you still keep in contact with him?
No.
No. It was just 2 years ago you messaged him.
Yeah.
Have you worked with any other influencers?
Not really. Not really that we had one brand we are working with. But for example, as I was at a fitness brand, we had some events, for example, FIBO where we were at. And so
And they just brought a bunch of these,
So
these influencers together.
Yeah. So stuff like
Are
that.
any of them people that we might know?
I don't think
Or they're
so.
German?
They are German.
They're German?
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with hotels? Have you ever like been contracted by hotels to do like, hey, we'll give you a free room, and you just post about like the amenities and how much fun you're having?
Yeah,
You
I
have.
did.
You did.
Yeah. So one time in Cyprus 2 years ago, there was the TikTok video.
Where's Cyprus? I don't know where that is.
Cyprus is
Off the
a
coast
part.
of
There
Greece.
is a
Off the
part.
coast of Greece? Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
idiot. I don't know.
Greece and Turkey part. Cyprus.
Yeah.
So there is a part in Greece and a part in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was there.
Beautiful.
At
It must have
hotel.
been beautiful.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was a nice place.
Yeah.
And then in Germany sometimes, for example, in Hamburg, then I stayed there for a few nights, or in Thailand.
So these are like, okay, when you're talking about all these places, these are all these hotels who have just like reached out to you and been like, come here.
Yeah, or I reached out to
Or you
them.
reach out to them.
Yeah, so it depends.
And the payment is just like a room?
Yeah.
The free night stay,
Yeah.
free dinner, all that stuff?
Mostly like that.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your expenses must be super low.
That's great. It's just amazing because...
You must not spend a lot of money.
No.
Yeah.
But it's not...
Do you have a savings?
If I've got savings?
Yeah, do you have a saving?
Yeah, I just invest in some stocks right now. I mean, I
Oh,
work
hey,
at
you're
a
a stock
bank.
investor?
I try to. I want to get a big one.
That's good.
I just spent some money the last, I think, 2 weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and
You bought some stocks at a discount.
yeah, I bought some stocks. I was just a few bucks, so not that much.
That's fine.
But I
you don't
just
wanna
want to
risk everything.
figure it out, and now I'm just.
What stocks did you buy?
Marriott.
Oh, nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, good. It's a great deal.
Yeah.
Even look how cheap it is.
Yeah, it was quite nice. Then Starbucks, because I love Starbucks, so I had to buy a Starbucks. Porsche, and then some little ones that might grow. And what there was another one. Netflix. I bought Netflix. Yeah.
Well, they're expensive right now, but
but I think it will still grow.
Do you think it's still
You have to go with the, how do you say?
with the trend?
Yeah, go with the trend.
Go with the trend.
Sometimes you have to say that.
I agree. I mean, I invest in stocks. I've been investing in stocks longer than I've known about real estate, like for 6-7 years. And I started in high school. And I'm more of like a long-term investor where like I try to get stocks that pay dividends, but also are like very reputable companies. So a lot of my like what I invest in is like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Facebook I like a lot. I think Facebook's gonna do great. One of my favorite ones are just the high dividend ones that pay you money, because I don't think an investment is an investment unless you get something in return.
Yeah.
Because some people like.
Then it's just spending money.
Then it's just spending money with the speculation that hopefully it goes up in the future and you can sell it for more. Yeah. So I don't know. That's great. You're getting into that. That's great.
Yeah, I love that because it's something that keeps me on track. It's something that you've got the bees in your veins or in your stomach and some things. Yeah, and that's something I love. I love the to experience the limit and to experience the drama.
But be careful. You don't want to make it like a gambling thing.
But it's just a bit.
You could lose a lot of money.
It's just a bit. Yeah, that's why I just use a few bucks.
Yeah.
So, and I just wouldn't go to the casino, and I
hate the casino.
I was there one time because it was a present for my dad for his birthday, and I was just like, Dad, going to, and here you get a card with a special amount of money that's from me, and you can spend it, but I don't spend more. So I just go there and say, okay, I spend this amount and I don't spend more. And I just spend $1, then another dollar, and another dollar.
So you have a lot of self-control.
Yeah. So
evidently, yeah.
So I wouldn't go there and just spend everything I have and then go out. And
yeah.
So that's nothing I would do.
Well, if you always want to make money in the stock market, you invest in either index funds and you expect it to keep your money in there for like 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's the best way to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a statistic that said in the past 15 years, the S&P 500, which you know what the S&P 500 is, right? It's like the top 500 companies, like the best companies of the world.
Yeah.
Top 500. There's an index that you can buy.
So it's ETF?
No, it's an index fund. I guess an index fund is a variation of an ETF, but it's an index fund.
Okay.
It's basically a fund that tracks the way that the top 500 companies are doing, and you can buy into that. And if the top 500 companies are doing great, and you buy into it, and they continue to do great, and most likely they will continue to do great, you're basically buying into America.
But I thought that's an ETF.
Yeah, so it is an ETF. I don't know the exact definitions, but yeah, I think it's an ETF.
So they just an ETF is something that they.
An exchange traded fund is an index that tracks various companies' stock prices, and basically have put a value on it and sell it to other investors.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, mortgages. Like, you can buy, like, if I want to buy a house and I want to get a mortgage, like a bank lends me money. Banks make a lot of loans to many different people, right? But those banks don't want to hold all those mortgages because that's a lot of debt that they have to make sure that they're collecting. So what they do is that they package up all those mortgages and they put it in an index, and then they sell it to investors on the stock market or privately. And then those investors receive the interest payments that the person who bought the home, pay to the bank, and the bank takes their cut, and then the people who invest and bought up those index funds, they get their cut. And so that's typically how an index fund works. That's basically it's the same thing with like the top 500 companies though.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like a fund that buys up all the top 500 companies that the Standard & Poor's says are the top 500, and then from there on out, you're buying into that, and you're basically buying into America, which is like what Warren Buffett says. So like, but there are many different ways that you can invest long term, and I mean, if you really want to get into a discussion about that, we can definitely talk offline, or we can have a whole segment on it.
Or another podcast about
another
it.
podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really good. I need to do a little more homework on the definitions. Like, I understand it in practice, but if definitions wise, it would be good for our audience to kind of get a grip on stuff like as well. But anyway, stepping away from stocks, which I love talking about it. We can talk about whatever. You mentioned that you want to get into reading. Like, what books are you looking? What's the one book that you're gonna go to directly once you?
So I love to learn more about finding yourself, to make the best out of your life.
Yeah.
To experience and to learn how to grow. So your inner growth.
And what book? What book is like the perfect concoction of all of that?
It is the 10x rule from
10x rule.
Yeah.
Oh, the Grant Cardone.
Yeah. So this is a very
but
nice.
You read it already, or you're going to read it?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, you read it already.
And I really like it because he motivates you to keep doing, and he helps you to have a structure and to believe in yourself. But sometimes I think he exaggerates a bit because he says...
Exaggerates? Okay.
Because he says you have to do everything you want to achieve 10x the amount. Oh. So if you, for example, want to have 1 million, you should not get 1 million. You have to be focused on 10 million.
I see.
And I think this could make you feel stressed.
For sure.
And that's something I don't want to take out of the book. So I take out of the book, the message of the book is for me that I have to believe in myself, that I have to stay strong and that I have to believe and to keep on doing, but not to overload everything.
Right. You don't want to end up hating
Yeah.
like whatever you're doing to
Yeah.
get to a goal that
Yeah.
you might not even feel fulfilled about.
Yeah. So when I, for example, want $1 million and I should look to 10 million and then I get 3 million, then it's more than I wanted to have.
Yeah. Hey.
So, and then
Yeah.
I should be unhappy because I did not reach the 10 million, or maybe I just got it the wrong way because it's English and I'm German. So
no, that's definitely the way that he describes it. I and that's why I also don't prescribe to these ideas. I mean, it's great to get you off your ass and start working on yourself, you know. But other than that, like, you determine your route. That's what I think. And you know, people like Gary Vaynerchuk also talk about the same stuff. You know Gary V?
I don't know.
This is the same arena. It's whatever. But I mean, you seem to be doing very well for yourself. You seem to be growing, and you're continuously growing. But what is the reason? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you an influencer? Like, why are you doing it?
Because I want to spread positivity. I want to show people that there are two sides of life, the good part and the negative part, that you have to be focused on the good part, that you have to see the value out of it. And I want to share on Instagram, even if it's contradicting, that life is not only on the internet, but also on the street. So if I'm on the street, for example, and I see a girl I like, and I say to her, hey girl, I don't know you, but you are beautiful. Keep on doing that. And I want to, motivate others to do that the same way, because you sometimes think like that people are beautiful who walking down the street, but you don't say that. Yeah. And when someone is telling you that you look beautiful, and you don't know the person, then you start smiling and you just feel good. And that's something I want to spread. I want to spread that you should value people who are around you and everyone who is around you, and that you are allowed to tell others, even if you don't know them, that they are good the way they are.
Well, I think that works for you. But if I were to go out in the street and tell a woman that they're beautiful,
nah,
they would think I'm hitting on them. Some people would take offense.
It depends.
There's a political climate right now where objectifying a woman, especially if you're kind of discussing her beauty, can appear predatory, like I mentioned, objectification, and also insulting, even if it is genuine. So I, for example, like, if I'm going up to a woman to say she's beautiful, it's either because I think I have a shot at getting her phone number, and if I'm genuinely doing it, it might be taken the wrong way. But it seems like that's what, for you, it works, because I think, I mean, everybody's different, but
Sure.
I think it's a stronger message from another woman. But do people ever like, oh, so do you want my number? Like, are women ever like that when you tell them they're beautiful, or is it like so genuine and sincere that they don't even question that your compliment?
Well, I'm sometimes I don't go directly to them, so I don't go there and say, "Hey, girl, how are you?"
Well, how would you do it? You just like yell out from across the street?
It was just yesterday. I just go across the street and I was just saying, "Hey, I just want to say I love your tattoos. They look amazing." I just keep going.
Oh, there you go.
So it was just that way.
That is a very sincere and wholesome way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think I might have to take that up, because I do like to spread the magic of kindness. You seem to be very good at spreading the magic of kindness if you're doing that kind of thing.
Thank you. I try.
And so there doesn't seem to be much of, well, I don't know. Do you think there's much of a separation between your online self and your real life self?
Of me or of
you?
everyone?
No, of you.
I try to be the way I am on social media, just the same as I am in real life. there's still a difference. I don't show them when I take a shower. I don't show them when I'm on the toilet.
You don't have an OnlyFans account? Is that what you're trying to say?
I really did not know what it is. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine just told me that there is a platform where you can make money with pictures that look.
Oh yeah, you can make a whole lot of money.
Yeah. And I was just like, no.
That's not for you.
No, I won't do that.
So why not? What if you need the money?
Oh my goodness.
You wouldn't ever do it?
I wouldn't ever do that.
Come on.
Maybe I can show my feet.
Oh, for the feet fetish guys?
This is something. It's hilarious. Someone just messaged me tonight on three messages on Instagram, in a comment, and by mail. And he said, "I want to give you a foot massage. I pay you $1,000."
That's a great deal.
And I think it's serious. He would do that.
I would take that deal in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
For $1,000, I got a foot rub?
Another one said...
But he's not going to like suck on your toes and things like that, right?
No, you just want to give me a foot massage.
But you never know. He might start with a foot rub and then go for like those.
Yeah, maybe he wants a massage with happy end or stuff.
Mouth, you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. If you're really reaching out for just a foot massage, I think that's as far as it's gonna go. To be honest, it doesn't seem like. I mean, no guy who really wants to get like that's. I don't think he's gonna go for that. I don't recommend it.
Maybe it was you.
Maybe it was me.
Because
I have a hell of a foot fetish.
Yeah, maybe.
How did you know?
Because we talked about my feet, and the first thing you was thinking was my feet instead of the Instagram feed.
I have a mega foot fetish. It's true. I'm coming out of the closet now.
Oh shit!
I have a terrible
You're not the
foot
only
fetish.
one. A lot of people have.
I know. I just can't afford to pay anyone $1,000 to let me rub their feet.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Because I'm not just rubbing their feet. I'm sucking on toes.
Okay.
I got the big piggy, the little piggy, and they're all going in my mouth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yummy.
But anyway, just going off of that, I think it's really great that you spread the magic of kindness, and like you know what, this is just a game, and and at the end of the day, like we're all just doing what we love to do, and some people just kind of pursue it more than others, and you just went for it, and like that's really credible, and. This is coming from a guy who has a foot fetish. So imagine what people who don't have foot fetishes have to say about this. I mean, you must be a rock star to them. I'm just saying, like, keep doing what you're doing. I'd love to keep following your content.
Thank you.
I'll probably learn German watching you. And
maybe I should do more English stuff.
Maybe you should, yeah.
I mean, if I want to live in America, I should do that.
Maybe do like another page that's like Josi Maria,
I'm just
English.
one. I'm just one.
You're just one.
I'm just one.
But maybe your YouTube is English.
To what?
Maybe your YouTube could be English.
Yeah, this could be.
Yeah. So when you start your YouTube page, let me know, and then we'll see how we can create some interesting content. Do you do makeup tutorials and stuff like that too?
No.
No, you don't do that?
No. So I just had a YouTube a few years ago, and but I don't do that anymore.
But it looks like you have a plan to broaden your landscape of social media sites.
Yeah, so I love Instagram, and I hope that I think it will still be there, because 2 years ago they said it won't be there anymore, and now it's still there, and Instagram is Instagram. So it's just like Apple is Apple, or Porsche is Porsche. It's still there, and it's always.
Well, that's what they said about Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And that's what they said about Macy's. I mean, there's Blockbusters around.
So we will see.
We'll
will
see.
never know.
No, I mean, I'm sure you'll be fine either way because you have a great following. I mean, the greatest Viners when Vine got shut down, they went to YouTube and Instagram. Some of their content's crap because it's just like not for Instagram. But for YouTube, it works.
Yeah.
Great. So you know what? It was a pleasure speaking with you, Josi.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I hope to have you on here again. We'll probably be in a different setting. We'll be changing up settings. And we'll talk about stocks. Let's talk about stocks. I'd love to see the performance of your stocks.
I just have to go more into it, and then we can discuss about it.
Yeah, I think it's empowering to see.
By the way, I invested in Lufthansa as well.
Oh, great! I did too. I bought
really?
I think 30 shares.
And everyone said you don't have to. They will just break. And I'm just like.
Well, they have a lot of cash in the bank. They
Yeah.
actually have a lot of, they could withstand a good amount of time without any cash flow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could probably survive, but I think the airline industry is probably
Everything
it's
is
gonna
very
change
cheap.
though.
Yeah.
It's gonna change dramatically.
Yeah.
The middle seats are gonna be gone for
Yeah.
sure.
And they will all go to Lufthansa because Lufthansa is big.
Lufthansa is big. I don't know about American Airlines, but I think most airlines are gonna die. There's definitely gonna be some innovative companies coming out. I mean, startups usually start out of recessions. I mean, Uber started out of the recession. Shopify as well. Like so many companies start from like when there's a recession because people just like get really creative.
Yeah.
Very rarely during boom market cycles do we get like new companies starting and things like that, and innovation. So we're gonna see a lot of that. But yeah, let's leave that for another episode, and then let's do the rapid fire questions.
Sure.
So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you too.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Great.